What to say about this one? Okay, got it. Let's go. The All Blacks have their second game of this tournament and take the win against Canada, 63 points to 0. It's time for us to recap, to review, to revise all things related to this match. Kia ora everyone, my name is Zach and I love rugby. Welcome back to Haka Time Rugby. Now if you're new to the channel, please take the time to subscribe. We cover all things rugby and we do it from many different angles, and we cover content both related to the big teams, the big matches, the big outcomes, as well as some of the key talking points on and off the field. So I encourage discussion, encourage debate, and that's what we're all about here. I love talking rugby. I love learning new things about rugby as well. So I encourage you, please subscribe and please comment with your thoughts. Whether they're good, bad, you agree, disagree, doesn't matter. I'm very interested in what you have to say about rugby because it's something I love. Now let's get to it. A couple of the key talking points in this match. So I'm not going to go through the extensive review of all of the tries, and what I will say is there were certainly some points left on the board by New Zealand, and we are back to this point on what is really impacting some of these games, especially recently, conditions. So humidity again. This became a wet weather rugby game due to the conditions. The ball was clearly greasy, and a lot of the players commented afterwards that it was hard to hold that pill. Not only that, but the All Blacks in particular seemed to fatigue towards the end of the games. Actually, towards the end of each halves, their output dropped off. So you can imagine in that heat, with that humidity, just how difficult it is to play open running rugby. The All Blacks had the majority of the possession here as well, so they spent most of it running. And no better observation than when Beauden Barrett got the clear run at the end, and unopposed, no one around him, he just dropped the ball. Now, the coach said afterwards that was all due to fatigue and it was all based on these conditions. So it'll be very interesting to see how conditions play a role in the rest of the games. What's really important in these types of games, and Scotland proved this in their win against Samoa, is you play territory, right? So while the All Blacks were never really in danger of losing this game, you play territory, you play field position, you use game management, and that is how you manage these outcomes in these types of conditions. So let's keep an eye on that. I'd like to see for some of these future matches, how is that going to impact the games? Another talking point, the three Barrett brothers played and the three Barrett brothers scored tries. Congratulations to them. I'm sure they'll have a proud mum and dad there. I mean, it's one thing to get three brothers into the All Blacks. It's another team to have them start, and it's another thing to have them all scoring tries. So congratulations to the Barrett family. Next talking point. If I was to choose a man of the match from this game, I would probably select Atu Moli. Atu Moli has a huge engine. For those who didn't catch it, he played 80 minutes of rugby in these conditions. As I mentioned, New Zealand did the majority of the attacking. There was clear fatigue, and yet you have a prop who was playing 80 minutes in these conditions. That's incredible, right? You don't see that often in international rugby. Now, I know there are some that can go 80 minutes, but to do so in these conditions, just imagine the fatigue he must have been under for a big man. Congratulations to him. And that's what I more like to see in these types of games is we know that the All Blacks are going to put points on the board. That's a given. We know that some of these players are going to stand out. But what else is happening in the game? And to me, Atu Moli going 80 minutes, credit to you, well done to him, and excellent output. The next major talking point, I want to talk about Canada here. Now, they did have patches in this game where they were competitive. They had patches where they were putting pressure on the All Blacks. And one thing that really impressed me about this Canadian team is that they never gave up. They continued to try and try and try. I mean, it's really easy for you to drop your head in games like this that are not competitive. But they didn't do that. I mean, this is their opportunity to play against the All Blacks. This is their opportunity with the world watching to try and do something. And, their commitment to the end whistle for me was great. Not only that, but the camaraderie after this game, the All Blacks and the Canadian team bowing to the crowd hand in hand. That was a really nice touch. If you do get time, I'd encourage you to go and watch the post-match press conference for this Canadian team. The coach, Kingsley Jones, as well as their captain, Tyler Ardon. They speak very, very passionately about Canadian rugby. And what struck me in this one, and I haven't heard them speak too often in their post-match press conferences, but I watched this one, is they are as passionate about the Canadian jersey as any of us are about our jerseys. And hearing that passion come through was really, really refreshing and nice to see. And I think that explains a lot of the commitment they're putting in, but you almost sense a bit of frustration. And I think a lot of us share the same frustration that while they are given some opportunities, and obviously there is a big focus on Tier 2 nations and how we improve them, more needs to be done, because we get to these tournaments and these types of games are a foregone conclusion. So they spoke really passionately about what needs to happen. And one thing I think they focused on, which I think is correct, a lot of us focus on increasing the number of games that the All Blacks or the other Tier 1 nations play with the Tier 2 nations. I don't think that is the way to success. I think if you look at both Italy and Argentina, and unfortunately to say, neither of those teams have really improved, although they are playing regular matches against the Tier 1 teams. Now, I actually think the focus needs to be on improved pathways for young Canadian players to move into a professional rankings. I mean, you look at some of these pro leagues around the world, whether it's the Super, what are we now, Super 18, Super 15, whatever it is now, and some of the European leagues, there are very strict rules around players and where they come from. And I think we need to look at some of those, because improving players' professional output, getting them mixing and mingling with some of the top players, that's how we improve teams. And shutting them out because of residency or national rules, to me, is not helping to improve the game on a world scale. So I think they hit it right on the head there. That is what is needed. Improved opportunities and pathways into the professional leagues for the Canadian players. Now, there is a US league which is kicking off in the not too distant future, and Kingsley Jones said he's had a number of meetings on this and is quite excited about it. And I think that's a great start. Local talent with another pathway into the professional leagues. Now, will it take off in America? We don't know. But if you look at Major League Soccer, for example, that, when it was established, did not have a huge following, and it eventually built over time. I think in America, there is always a hunger for various sports. You got to remember, in the Americas, there are a lot of different nationalities represented and people from all over the world. So whether it's a cricket league or a soccer league or even a rugby league, these types of professional leagues can do well because of the size and scale of the market. So I'm excited about the US League, and I think that's, as they rightly pointed out, that is another pathway for young players into professional rugby. Now, I still believe more needs to be done. New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, all European leagues, we all need to do more to ensure those pathways are there as well. I don't think it's as easy as just, Canada needs to play the All Blacks more, or, Namibia needs to play South Africa more. I don't think that's the answer. I think the answer is pathways to improve player performance at the professional end. And that's it. I mean, the All Blacks get the win in this one. We expected that. They got the bonus points. I mean, in these types of matches, that's all you can really hope for, is that you get through, good performance, bonus point, and no injuries. And the All Blacks did that. So congratulations to them, and congratulations to Canada. I really like that they show that they are a committed team. I like that Kingsley Jones put it out there in the press conference where his focus is. And to me, that is a successful outcome for this game if more people hear that message. So I encourage you, please go and watch that press conference and let me know your thoughts. Comment down below, did you think the All Blacks looked good? What were the major talking points from this match? What do you think about Tier 2 nations and how we improve them? I want to hear it all. Like, comment, and subscribe. Please get involved in the discussion, and we'll see you back soon. Please come back for more videos. I'm dropping them throughout the World Cup. That's it. See you guys. Competition time. It's competition time, guys. Welcome back to Haka Time Rugby. Now, for those who were following previously, you will know that we ran a competition on the Ireland versus Japan match. The competition itself was very, very simple to enter. All you have to do is subscribe. That's step 1. Step 2 was to select the score and the winner in that game. Now, unfortunately, myself included, nobody predicted that Japan was going to win versus Ireland. So that means we are running another competition. And it is going to be on the final pool match between Japan and Scotland. All you've got to do, very, very simple, is subscribe. That's step 1. Pick the score. That's step 2. And tell me who is going to win. That's it. If you do that, you are in the draw, and the winner will receive an international rugby jersey of your choice. Now, the conditions on this, we will close off the entries 1 hour before the match. The jersey has to be easy enough for me to buy as well. I don't want some custom jersey, $2,000, $5,000. No, it must be standard issue international jersey, accessible on any website that I can go to, purchase, and send to you very simply. So that's it. You got a lot of time to enter, so I encourage you to share, tell your friends, get them all involved, and let's pick a winner here. This one could go either way as well, so I hope to see entries on both sides. Japan winning, Scotland winning. One last point, you can only enter once per subscriber, and that is it. Please, please, please give me your predictions in this video. And that's it. Good luck. Talk soon, guys. See ya.